Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So what you're looking at is a Sunl, S-U-N-L, 110cc quad. It's a kid's quad, automatic, value, I don't know, probably weighs about 100 pounds, which makes it worth somewhere around 40 cents. Or yeah, 104 cents, $4. I guess it's worth $4 in scrap. Anyway, so started out at an auction, went to a buddy, came to me for free, and this has been sitting out around there for the longest time. And for some reason I decided that it should start. I'm not sure why I made that decision, but I made that decision. So I went to start it. Well, actually, I spent some time on it. It was partially seized, so I loosened it. I managed to loosen it up by, rotating the flywheel back and forth, a little oil down the cylinder. So once I did that, I did a compression check on it, and the compression came out okay. So after that, I figured, what the heck? I'll smash a carburetor and my portable ignition box on it and give it a start. Well, this thing, it just wouldn't start. And I'm like, I checked the timing, checked the compression, checked the valves, checked everything, and it wouldn't start. So now it's like, this is a challenge. I gotta figure this out, right? We can't have these bikes resisting me, right? So, and I guess, it would occasionally pop, and when it would pop, it would make like squeaky sounds. So I guess that was one thing that kind of got me suspicious. The second thing that got me suspicious, that even though the compression turned out pretty good, when you'd put your hand over the carburetor, you didn't get all that much of a pull, right? You didn't feel it inhale the gas fuel mixture. So that was the second thing that got me a little bit suspicious. I pulled the carburetor off again, and I took it off down where the manifold bolts to the head, and it didn't have a gasket there, so I put a gasket there. I mean, the flange looked clean. It seemed to be bolting down nice and tight, but I put a gasket there, tried it, and it was slightly better, but not really. But it was still making that squeaky sound. So I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this thing? So I'm thinking maybe it's got a blown head gasket. So I tightened the 4 bolts. These 4 bolts. There's one in the back and 2 down low. The battery clamps on one of them. So I tightened those 4 bolts up. I gave it another try, and she spun right over. So I mentioned this to you guys because, every once in a while you just get that bike or quad or a 3-wheeler or whatever that just won't start, and you go through all the basics and everything seems right, but it just won't crank over. If it's making that squeaky sound, or if it's puffing smoke out of a strange spot, you should go through the trouble of checking to make sure that your head gasket isn't blown, or you don't have a problem with, quite honestly, the head just being loose, right? So turning the portable ignition box on, choke, I got the throttle on the other side. So there we have it. I don't know if you guys can hear that hissing sound. That probably means yeah, my crankcase is also plugged up. This line here that comes out of the crankcase, this guy here, probably also has something in it, because that's why you hear that hissing. It's pressurizing the crankcase. So I got to tell you, I'm happy. Went through a lot of trouble to get this started. I'm not sure why. I have a Cushman 3-wheeled utility cart, you know, like one they would ride around a factory. It's originally electric. It's from 1948. I don't know. Came from the Saratoga area, and it was a barn find. So it could have been somebody who got it from an old GE auction or something. Anyway, some people, Roger particularly, recommended that I put this drive chain in that, and it actually would be pretty cool on that, especially if I muffled it down so that it was completely quiet, geared it down real low, and then you know, bring it to like a car show. They kind of like people riding around on those kind of things because they look interesting, and especially if it's quiet enough, you know, and it looks harmless enough, they wouldn't worry about me grabbing a fistful of gas and lifting the front wheels off the ground. Anyway, I feel good. I'm always happy when one of these comes back to life. I always, you know, I feel like Dr. Frankenstein with the Frankenstein monster, you know, bringing, you know, putting a bunch of pieces together, and the next thing you know, you got something running. All right, everyone, I want to thank you for dropping by to watch and comment. Please subscribe. If you like this, the old thumbs up and positive comment. And if you don't, and you give me a thumbs down, just tell me why. All right, take care. Bye now.